You can be as loud as you want.
Oh, it's a whole different world.
Look at our beautiful faces.
Oh my god, are they here? Let me refresh my thingy.
I see us.
Woo! Oh no, why are we still hosting? I see us, yay! Hello, everybody, hello world! Woo!
Hello, everybody.
Alright, now let me put this away so I don't get distracted.
Fuck, there's some...
Hi, everybody!
Making a terrible noise. I'm sorry. I have to go.
Hi, everybody. Okay, no worries. Well, hi. Oh my gosh, everybody, welcome. It's another episode. Wow. This time I'm not sick, but we were somewhere very special, Sage and I. So my voice is a little bit husky from that still.
Same.
But we were at PodCon, and it was amazing. And we got to see a ton of you there and a bunch of love for the show. And we had a giant balloon dragon that was 15 feet tall. And it was just a really great time in general.
It was fantastic. We got to see one of our Discord people, Curry, who gave us the most spectacular character art, which I will be sending to you guys after I take pictures of it.
Yeah, mine is now my little profile picture on Discord because I love it so much. Yes!
Nassim and I were living vicariously. I can't speak for Nassim, but I feel confident for putting words in your mouth right now since you're coughing. We were both bummed as fuck that we couldn't go. I literally couldn't go, and I'm sad because I wanted to super bad. And then Sage and Celeste were just rubbing salt in the wounds with those fucking sweet pictures of the booth that we had with the dragon in the tower. Oh my god!
We thought you wanted to see.
I did, but also I was like, cool. Looks like you're having a lot of fucking fun. Nice.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, somebody said we're still hosting D&D.
I see us.
Not on my screen.
Yeah, you see us. So I think it's just a matter of refreshing your browser.
If there's one thing all of us are very, very confident about issuing advice in, it's restarting a program.
Yes, absolutely.
We did it a bunch of times today. It's all good.
It's part of our get ready routine for streaming, let me tell you.
You guys, I'm so excited. We're like back on track, and I feel like we're back in the groove, and this is going to be amazing. So I guess let's just go ahead and get this all started. Hello, everyone. My name is Celeste Konowich, and I will be your dungeon master.
And I am Brittany Quintero. I play Arnadellathil, the Moon Elf Warlock.
You sound so excited about it.
I was going through the mental checklist of like titles and I realize I always sigh whenever I say that too. Like it's a mouthful.
All right, Sage, we got a comment that there may be an echo when you speak.
It's not.
Okay, all right.
Welcome to the joys of stream.
Thank you all for helping.
I am Nassim, your human monk, Sayonara. With fresh new hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So cute. Yeah. And I'm Sage, and I play Cara Brunhilde, your dwarven barbarian.
Yay! Oh my gosh! So last time, some stuff happened, and it was kind of scary. But let's get into it. What specifically happened last episode?
I was asleep, basically. So
you were
we battled some shit.
Uh-huh.
Car got attacked.
Yeah, so you all left the party, and you got back to Finn's house, and you came up with a plan about what to do. Do you guys remember your plan?
Nope.
So...
Sorry. I'm not apologetic about that. Wasn't it first to go to get soldiers for Ravain? Was that his name?
Duke Ravain.
So first,
we did a war table operation.
You did?
Yes.
And first you decided to actually deal with Rowan.
Yeah, we decided that we should help him out because the demon problem seems the most imminent. And so then afterwards, to help have us go as a show of strength and solidarity, as like a little battalion of us to go and help out Duke Ravain because things have gone south in North Point, and then Kara wanted to submit herself as a champion to fight against the Tsarina's champion to embarrass her, but it's kind of like, maybe that's a bad idea because we don't want to be on the Tsarina's bad side. And while it would be fun, we should go and help out the Crone Mother Open Jars.
Yes. So I have written down in my notes that 1, you were going to go help Rowan first, and then 2, you decided to help Amalthea, and then 3, last, we were going to go help Ravain out in North Point.
Yeah.
So please don't mess that, because that I've literally determined the course of this whole adventure. So please do not change now. I locked it in.
Your fate is sealed.
It's sealed. It's sealed, damn it.
Unless you've saved, you cannot go back.
You cannot go back. This is that point in the game where they're like, if you move forward, you will never be able to return to this location. And then, so you all made your plans, and you went to sleep, and then...
Kara managed to miraculously hear, in the dead of her slumber, the sound of metal scraping on wood. And she awoke, and it was this giant fucking mechanical metal spider, just poised on top of the canopy bed, like, and oh my god, yeah. Kara just was so sleepy and failed like pretty much all of her attacks, did nothing against it. Gidget was screaming at the top of her lungs, digging through her bag trying to find alchemical flask to chuck at this thing. It was a fucking nightmare. And then it paralyzed Kara. It was trying to spin her up into a web so it could carry her off live to its master, whoever had summoned it.
Many Frodo references were had.
Yes.
In the chat.
And then you guys all kind of burst in on the scene, and you ended up eventually taking down this thing, which, for those who are curious, is called a retriever. You can find it in Mordekainen's Tome of Foes. And then...
So we kicked that. Saya kicked a lot of ass. Oh my god, did so much damage to this thing.
What the fuck?
Hours and hours of conditioning, punching wooden mannequins so I can punch the little spider.
It's finally paid off, all of your punching.
Yes. So you brought the spider down in an epic fashion, and then afterwards, some stuff was said. And do you remember any of that?
So Kristoff instructed Gidget to immediately begin working on this thing to figure out where it came from, how it works, and all these sort of things. And afterwards, she came back, she crawled back into bed, and she handed Kara a little note that was inside the retriever. That's basically like, oh, I'm coming for you for our unfinished business.
She's like, I'm looking forward to completing my set.
Yes.
Gross. Also, I just looked at the retriever stats. Jesus fucking Christ.
I know, but you guys kicked its ass, so it's whatever.
Huge. And at 207 HP.
Yeah.
We kicked its ass like semi-conscious. Like, fuck, dude.
Kara didn't even have her armor on.
Yep, you did have a few NPCs helping you, though.
Yes, most definitely.
Yes. So that was, the game last time. You had all gotten back, made your plans, and then this retriever had attacked Kara, intent on whisking her away off to its drow masters, we determined. Also, I've officially decided that the maidens, I'm going to use CR, add your level and then add +10, and those are the only creatures we're going to fight, because you destroy things. You chew through things, so...
What was the CR of the retriever, if I may ask?
It was 15 or 16.
Hold on, I can tell you.
Yeah. Which, you're like, snap. I mean, we had 2 higher level NPCs. Yeah.
16. It was worth 15,000 XP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they're very pretty, actually. I kind of like the design.
Oh, they're cool. Super cool and super deadly, except for the maidens. But, they were just toying with you. So, essentially, after all of that fuss, Aaron had also told you, Arnadel, that he had basically orders to watch Kara from unseen places. Now, Kara doesn't know that, but Aaron is effectively not going to be around anymore.
He's like a flight marshal or air marshal. Like
air marshal.
Yeah, you can't know they're on the plane, but they might be there.
Yeah, exactly. So he makes himself scarce, and then you all went to sleep. And the morning arrives without any further incident. As we had said, Saye, last time, you had checked for any way this thing could have gotten in, but there is no tracks, no indication, nothing to be found of how this large creature just appeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way that thing was fitting through a fucking door, I can tell you that.
That is very true, which is also brings the question of how did it get here and if there are magical means for these drow to send things after you. So, with all of that in mind and this heightened sense of security, you all wake up. You all made it through the rest of the night, and everybody begins to assemble back in the main kind of dining room. Some people are already awake and up, so Kristoff and Isolde are already there, poring over papers. They all have a bunch of coffee, just kind of sitting around. Finn is like slumped over in a chair, clutching his head, kind of looking away from the window, squinting. Buckets is running around serving more coffee to everybody. Valerius is also there, and they all kind of usher for you to have a seat at the table.
A papa squat.
Yeah. And so Kristoff, looks around at all of you. So, clearly, in light of everything, we have some new measures we need to take. And especially while you're going into Chasiana to take care of this Rowan situation. Being in a city is probably the most open and vulnerable place you could be, Kara. So we have a few different options we've put together. And he looks over at Valerius. And Gidget is actually woke up before you as well, and is sitting there next to Valerius. And he says, well, you may not like this much, but we can set up a decoy. Somebody who looks like you, and they will remain here under the protection of Kristoff and Isolde while the rest of you go off. Gidget has volunteered to be this person, and Gidget sort of smiles and looks over at you, Kara. We think it is quite imperative that the drow do not realize that you have left this place. Otherwise, they will send scouts after you. They'll probably be able to figure it out after a while, but this might buy us the time we need for you all to get into the city and to get this done.
Do I need to be made to look like someone else then?
I have a disguise kit.
I don't know how much of this you can disguise with just a dress and makeup.
No. We've thought of that as well, of course, and this is part 2. And he has a box that he slides over across the table to you. It's a thin-looking jewelry box.
I open it and see what's inside.
So inside is a circlet. It's a thin golden circlet that looks very simple. It's got like a little bit of wire work on the front, like where you would wear it down on your forehead. But other than that, it's well crafted, looks unassuming.
Alright, so what the hell does this do?
Well, put it on.
I'm leaning forward, like really excited to see what's about to happen.
I very skeptically, while raising my eyebrows fiercely, put it on.
Okay, this is fun. All right. This item, which is a real item, I will remind you, that exists in D&D. It's called the Circlet of Human Perfection.
What?
So this circlet, when worn, transforms its wearer into an attractive human of average height and weight. So choose an age, gender, skin color, hair color, and what your voice sounds like. And so the circlet, but I'm letting you choose instead of choosing for you.
Yes, define perfect.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so this is an item from Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and I thought it was hilarious.
This is awesome. Oh my god, what am I going to pick?
You can do anything you want.
Oh boy.
So the plan essentially is that you would leave and wear this the whole time you're in the city, and then Valerius would stay with Gidget and maintain disguise self spells to look like you.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay, so I have to pick age, race, height,
gender, hair color, and your voice.
Oh, I'll be an episode of Kara where I don't sound like Kara. How peculiar! Oh my god.
Do you want me to leave you some time to choose?
Yeah, give me a minute. But yeah, Kara, upon hearing this information, says, and she turns to Gidget and is like, I got a few questions to ask you. We'll get to that in a minute, though. Giving a very, like, cheeky, sexy smile.
So the mechanic of this, that Kara isn't actually choosing. So the circlet chooses what it makes. So, like, if Arnadel were to put on the circlet, it would make Arnadel look like the same person you're about to describe.
Right. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Isn't this weird? I love this. Britt, you're muted. Okay. Yeah, all right. So, and Valerius is like, well, that's the best we've got. Are you on board with that?
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Wonderful. Well, then that's one problem solved. And Kristoff seems to sigh with relief, like they were all holding their breath to see if you were going to agree to it or not.
Oh, I'm not that difficult. Am I?
Relieved too that you're letting her do this. So essentially that means that Kristoff and Isolde are going to stay here. They have to deal with a lot of gatherings and they don't know how long you'll be gone. So it's going to be the three of you sent off. Presumably Aaron is going too, but you don't know where he is. So Arnadel, you're the only one who assumes he's probably going with you, but you won't know. So it's just going to be you all three, the maidens, back together again. Me not dealing with any NPCs.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm. And then while all this is happening, have you decided what you look like?
All right. I'm going to look like a half-orc. A half-orc man.
You have to look like a human.
Oh, okay. That's not human.
It's the circlet of human perfection.
Oh, it's specifically human. Okay. That's fine.
And a human of average height and weight as well.
Okay, yeah, so she will look like a human man who... Oh my god, so the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like Phoebus, with the blonde hair and the beard and the, like, studly stature. That's what she's gonna look like.
Kara looks like...
Great reference.
Yes.
Fucking reference.
Your goatee is so on point. Oh, wow. That is a callback. Yeah, he was hot. Okay. So Kara's hot.
But we already knew that.
As this happened, yeah, everybody at the table is just like, all eyes on you, and Gidget's like...
Wow, Kara.
I give wiggly, suggestive eyebrows.
She's like, I mean, I know it's you, but I just... Okay. Not really my flavor.
Come over here and give me a kiss.
No, I'm good. I gotta get ready for... This is just... Wow. And at this moment, she is saved by a knocking upon the door. And then Finn's like, "Oh, right, okay." And he slides out of his chair and ambles over to open the door. And a young Eladrin man steps into the room. He's wearing very, very plain clothes that look like intentionally plain. And he steps forward and he is, "I need to speak with the human monk."
This is the first time she's taken her eyes off of Kara.
Ooh. And he steps forward and he looks around the room at everybody standing there and he's like, "Privately, madam," and he gives you a very courtly bow.
Oh, okay, I'll be right there. And,
okay, and he goes back outside and kind of waits for you.
Sorry, everyone. Does anyone know who that was?
And Finn's like, if I had to guess, probably one of the Ferellin's messengers.
Oh, okay.
They always use young boys like that.
Oh, Roman.
Okay. Well, I'll be
run
right
fast. All right, so you step outside, and this young man, he closes the door behind you, and he looks at you, and there's something odd about him. You don't know. He just seems a little bit mechanical as he says what he's about to say, which I will read. Some information for you from our mutual friend. Our friend knows that the creature in question attends a book club of sorts in the city of Chasiana. This club convenes monthly in a different location around the city. Our mutual friend does not know where the next meeting might occur, but the demon is always in attendance in one of their many disguises. The meeting was last held at the 1001 Nights Inn. Someone there might know where to start, or at least how to find the collector, who runs the book club and keeps a mailing list of its members. And as he delivers that, this robotic quality kind of stops, and he seems to like blink and look around confused about where he is.
Oh my god, that's so bizarre.
She clears her throat. Thank you. I think the exit's that way.
Sure. I'll be getting back then. And he looks down just confused as he leaves and sets back off down the dirt road.
Mm-hmm. All right. She tucks away the notes that she just took, her mental notes, I guess, and enters the room again.
What was that all about?
Some helpful hints about our mission.
What did he share? Were there any leads?
Well, he gave us a starting point at least when we go to Chasiana to hunt down this demon thing. Apparently, he likes to attend a book club. Literary man, demon thing. And
so it's like a book club? Is that code for something?
It sounds like it.
Arnadell's like, yeah, it's not code. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's when people get together, we all read the same book and then discuss it, and it's kind of like an excuse for social gatherings for socially awkward people.
Why would anyone on Earth ever attend such a thing?
Oh, God. Don't knock it till you rock.
Oh, no, Celeste's dead.
Is this the voice we're going with?
Yep.
I love it.
Love it.
Very Montgomery.
You're Montgomery's cousin.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, who knows if that's actually what this book club is, or if that itself is a guise, but he apparently attends and disguises itself, whatever it is. But apparently the last event was held at 1000 Nights Inn. And
1,001 nights.
Oh, 1,001 nights. Excuse me, my math is off.
Is somebody alarmed that one of the Serena's messengers just wanted to give us a helpful hint? Would there be any reason that they would be privy to us? Like, we were the only ones in there, right?
The assumption being that the mutual friend is that Duke Rowan sent this person to give you a lead.
Oh, okay. And Arnadell probably would have got that. Brittany didn't.
And the message is, I mean, being secretive like that with the robotic memory or whatever, just happened to that boy with some magical spell because nobody knows this problem. And he wants to fix it that way. Yeah. So I didn't want to ask him any questions.
You're like, okay. Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arnadell, that would seem to you like some kind of, Gaius spell or something. It was probably
super obvious.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You do know that Rowan is a spellcaster, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, this tickles my fancy. I would absolutely love to know what book he's reading, just for selfish reasons. But also, if I know the book, I might be able to, like, strike a conversation while you guys do your thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might be able to participate in the book club.
In the episode where the Venture Maidens had a book club discussion.
Arnold's all about it.
Next one. And then you may have time to read the book.
Perfect. All right. And at all of this discussion, everybody starts cleaning up, going their separate ways. Kristoff and Isolde have arranged for a wagon for you all to take to head into Chasiana. It's going to be a couple hours to get to the city. You are all up pretty early. So let's say it's like 9 by the time you're all out on the road. So you'll be getting there around 11.
Groovy.
Anything else before we go?
Does anyone know any kind of protection spell or shielding spell that's long-lasting we could place on Kara?
Hold on now. Hold on. I finally organized my spells. I may have picked something.
Oh, yeah. So, everybody, now we all have D&D Beyond character sheets.
Oh, yes.
Exciting. So if we fight things, you guys can keep track of your health and everything on there.
If we get into a battle.
If we're getting into a scrape, wink.
I have chosen guidance. I don't know how long that lasts. Oh, wait.
That basically lasts for like one roll.
A minute. Yeah. Well, sorry. It gives you some sweet, like a D4 to whatever you want, but I'll just wait. Yep.
Well, Kara certainly doesn't look like Kara right now, so this is probably the best opportunity you have to get out of here. And as you're all loading up in the wagon, Gidget has already been transformed into Kara and is walking around outside, helping to load the cart. So if anybody was watching, it's very obvious that Kara isn't accompanying this caravan. So it seems like maybe the Sisters of Sorrow have run a griff like this before.
Makes sense. Let's do it.
Do. All right. So we head out on the road. What's your party road trip mix?
Oh man.
What do you hum in the wagon?
Synth. Like early 80s synth. Heavy on the drum.
Synth pop.
Yeah.
I love it. Arnadell makes you listen to synth pop the whole way.
She's totally into New Order. Oh my god.
Wow, that was okay. All right. And you make your way across these roads to Chasiana. So as I said before, Chasiana, it's very hot, humid, not super unpleasant. Right now you see all this rolling, just green countryside and just beautiful land stretching out before you, fields and farms and lots of just spread out people. And as you get closer and closer to the city, you actually begin to see the ocean on the south side. So you're moving in out of this countryside estate, and then this just glistening gem of just water opens up to the south. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Now you're getting that sea breeze as it's coming in. And as you approach Chasiana, the land here is all very flat. So you can begin to see it from a great distance away. You see these tall buildings, which you were not expecting to see, something very uncommon in medieval times. Just these tall buildings that tower up into the sky. And as you get closer and closer, you see there's more water in the area. So you see these vast rivers leading out into the ocean. And then you see Chasiana itself, the entrance that you're approaching on. There's this large, like, docking station where you see lots of carts have been pulled over, almost like a parking lot of sorts. And then you see there are a bunch of these long boats that people are loading into with goods or everything and heading off onto these canals into the city itself.
Ooh.
So as you look forward, it seems like maybe all the main passageways through the city aren't roads, they're canals.
Interesting. All right, let's get a boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the city of Chasiana itself is a series of islands that are interconnected by many, many canals.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So as you approach, there are a bunch of these boats just lined up out there. Lots of people kind of hanging out like bored. You see the ones that look like definitely like tourist boats. You see boats that already are being loaded up and stacked with cargo, boats of every size, shape, color, and they're all drifting along this river as it's going. You see there's actually quite a bit of traffic through this very large canal that seems to be leading into the city. And you see that there are 4 distinct parts to Chasiana that stretch out before you, and the tall buildings all seem to be centered in like the northeast part, with many more docks and everything opening up onto the ocean and to the south.
How wide are the canals? Like how many boats in a row could you park?
So down these main canals here, you could easily float like a full size
4-lane.
So yeah. Ooh, you are cutting out so bad, my dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Nassim a minute to catch up here. But they are these lanes are extremely large. So think like a big ass pirate ship, and then put like 10 of those side by side, and you could fit them all.
Oh wow.
Thames.
Yeah. And this is the Thames. And this is the largest that you can see from this part here. You do see that there are lots of smaller canals that branch off of this main one here. But this is one that probably very large trade ships could come down and bisect through the city. Yeah, it's like, think Venice on crack.
Thinking like a New York version of Venice.
Yeah, sort of. And so the buildings themselves, now that you see them are a little closer, they're very thin and stacked. So it does look like apartments, probably where residential areas are. Just because the space is so small of the actual land, they've had to build up.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
All right, what kind of boat do you want to try and get?
Do they have like little rowboats, or can we secure passage on like a bigger ship floating into town?
Yeah, so they have like these gondola boats that are sort of like their taxi boats. So probably like 12 people could fit on it. Or they do have the larger boats that are seeming to carry cargo.
All right, let's get it. Let's Kara, not Kara. Kara, not Kara, goes up and kind of like throws her hand up and is like looking around like, this is how you do it, right?
I mean, I'm happy to row. I don't mind.
All of the boats do seem to have a person with them to ferry you around. So, somebody, as you start waving, like a younger boy, he's human, maybe looks about 16. He's like, up, you need a ride? My boat, best around here, fastest. I can get you exactly where you need to go in half the time you think it would take.
Well, all right then.
Sold.
2 gold pieces. I'll take you anywhere you want.
All right. I take out 2 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say. I do believe we could get a better price. 2 gold seems to be quite a lot.
Well, I mean, it's the best boat around, but I guess if your pockets are shallow, 1 gold then.
That seems much more reasonable. I do thank you. We are not going far after all.
Wow, he just said your pockets were shallow.
And he takes the gold piece and he like looks at it again to make sure it's actually gold and kind of gives you a stupefied look and then puts it in his pocket and he's like, all right, where do you need to go? All around the city? I'm your guy. My name's Vince, by the way.
What was it?
Vince.
Yeah, Vince.
Yeah, hey Vince.
Vince. Where was it you said we needed to go, Sawyer? 1001 Nights bookstore?
I'm so frozen.
Oh no.
The name
am I still frozen?
Yeah. So the name of the establishment given was the 1001 Nights Inn.
Inn. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you say this to Vince, and he's like, oh, okay. Well, I haven't heard of the place, but it sounds like it's probably in the night ward. I can take you over there real quick. You folks new to the city? And he starts rowing, like, these very long oars that begin to, like, take him all the way in these long strokes zipping off the dock. And you see that a lot of the other gondola drivers are staring, like, rolling their eyes at him as you all take off.
Can I make an insight check? Because this seems rather peculiar to me.
Sure, yeah.
7.
Oh, I was like natural 20.
Oh, natural 20, Arnadell?
No, I was being,
got it.
I was being sassy.
No worries. Yeah, you're like, oh, nope, seems good to me.
We're on our way.
Vince is just super friendly.
Arnadell's stoked to be riding in a gondola.
Yeah, and as you go, like, the sea breeze is coming in again, and you are seeing all of these buildings, like, on either side of you. This architecture is just super strange, like nothing you've ever encountered. And everything is in these beautiful tones of, like, white and gold and these kind of rustic reds, and it's just a really lovely city. Like, and you're floating along the water, which is just like this crystal blue, with all of these larger and smaller ships kind of lazing past each other. Nobody's going particularly quickly. As you're here and the sun is beating down now as it becomes high noon. So and Vince begins to lead you off towards what he called the night ward. Again, you folks new around here? Ever been to Chasiana? Best city in the world.
Are you from here?
Yep, born and raised.
How do you like it?
I love it. I was born here. My whole family lives here. A bunch of my brothers. We all take folks around. It's always so nice seeing new folks come in. You know anything about the city? Fancy myself to be a little bit of a tour guide as well.
Oh, we're here strictly on business. Tell me, what do you like about the city? Arnadell's trying to deflect his questions.
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean, the night ward is just amazing. You know, anything you could ever want to see. We've got theater and restaurants and tons of places to stay. And, all these folks are always coming in through the dock ward over there. You meet all kinds of people. I have ferried all kinds of people around the city.
Well, who's the weirdest person you ferried in your days as a ferryman?
I dare say we might be quite a collection of people that would be most unusual.
He looks at all of you and, 2 humans and a elf? Can't say you're the strangest. One time I had to get a giant on my boat. An actual giant.
Oh, what kind of giant?
Not go well. A big one.
Oh, nice.
The only giant that is a good giant is a dead giant, as far as I am concerned.
I don't know. Storm giants are pretty cool, although I don't think I'd want to meet one. So what's your favorite place in I don't know. How much farther until we get to the...
Oh, we're coming up on the middle of the city about now. And as you do, and because it does take you... So Chasiana has a population of about 100,000 people, which is very large. for a medieval-esque settlement. So it's a very large city. So you make your way down this canal until things begin to open up, and you seem to be floating into a large circular center island area of sorts. And you see now that there's this ring of water, and you can see all 4 canals that branch off of this place going west, north, southeast. And in the center is this big island with this massive cathedral in the center of it. And you see that flanking all 4 corners of this building, kind of built up, reaching into the sky, is this statue of a woman who has her arms outstretched in a welcoming sort of gesture. This very beautiful woman, just a long braid down her back, dressed in robes. And as you cross, Vince does this sort of hand gesture thing and looks up. He's like, "It's the most beautiful temple in the world."
Religion check?
Sure.
Was that good or bad?
1.
A 1. Okay, Saye, go for it.
Oh, me too.
Oh, you both got a 1. You're like,
Is that the who they call the mother?
Yeah, it
And
is.
I'm proficient in it.
Yep. So, yeah, that's the temple to the mother. I mean, we're here in the Mother's Delta. You know, she watches over all of us and protects us from right here. This is the center of her power. That's why Chasiana, best city in the world. And he's looking up reverently as he, steers the boat. And a lot of folks seem to be just lazily circling around this area. You see ships that have like little canopy covers, and people are like lounging on the decks, enjoying like picnics and drinks. So this is like the most beautiful part by far. You see it's ringed by gardens, and there are actually these floating boats that smaller boats are swimming up to and seeming to buy food and goods. This is like a park on the water sort of thing. Yeah, you see that no larger ships are moving through this area. They seem to have to go off different ways for commercial traffic. Yeah, but he continues to bring you around and takes you down. Let me just double check where we're going. He takes you down the western canal, the Olyana Canal, and he'll go ahead and he'll explain. He's like, okay, well, yeah, that's the Mindaris district and the Tavir and the Farellin and the Olyana. But the Olyana is, otherwise known as the Night District. That's probably where you're going to find the place you're looking for. So many inns down there. I'm sure some folk could help you out once you get over there.
Oh, thank you kindly for all of your service.
Absolutely. When you pay like you do, you get the whole treatment, and you go ahead and you make it down to the southwest part of the city, and he pulls over at one of the many docks. And, well, this is going to be your stop.
And I exit the boat and help the other 2 out.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. All right, well, you folks have a great day. And he just waits in the boat until somebody else kind of flags him down, and he gives them the same spiel he gave you, and there's some money exchanged, and he exits the boat. And now you're standing there on the cobblestone streets of Chasiana. 1,000,001 people passing you by, of all different types, sizes, varieties. But everybody does have a sort of a leisurely feeling about them. I don't know if you're in Italy, people have a very interesting sense of time. It's very different from Phelan.
No one's hurried to get anywhere.
Yeah, Phelan is very bustly and New York-esque, whereas Chasiana just seems to be a little bit more open, and yeah. So people are making their way through the streets, pushing carts. You hear people shouting, peddling things through the streets.
Or beelining it to the 1,001 Nights, right?
Yes. but before we continue onward, I think it would be quite strange if you were to refer to me as Kara, as I am not very lady-looking. Not that I am normally, but I feel like that I should probably have some kind of normal human man name. What would either of you suggest?
Carl.
Carl. I could go with that. It doesn't sound too different from what I'm accustomed to, so Carl it is.
So
Nassim's frozen. I'm waiting for Nassim's reaction. Oh, I didn't realize Nassim was frozen. I thought she was like not having any of my shit. And I was like, well,
sorry guys, Nassim is having a rough internet evening, so while I'm bisected in half.
Yes, you're split between two panels.
Oh god.
back.
Alright, well at least you're back in your box.
You get back in your box. And...
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Is this sound smooth? Am I choppy?
Not at all.
That was perfect timing. Does the sound smooth?
I'm a robot.
Where's my cursor? There it is.
Oh.
It's okay. We got it. We got it. Oh man. Anyway.
Okay.
So Carl,
did you see my message?
No. Let me.
No.
Let me look. Oh. Nope. Nope.
Okay. No worries. Let's just keep pushing on.
All
Okay.
right.
So, yeah. How are you going to go about finding this place? You really don't have anywhere to go. You do see that immediately as you move kind of further into this part of the city, there are taverns everywhere. Any kind of drinks you could want, they are here. You can definitely tell there are a ton of inns. There are lots of different folks walking the streets. Men and women of the night.
It's like noon,
It's like
right?
1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yep.
Right. I feel like. God, is there like a risk? Is there like a directory somewhere? No. I would.
This isn't Phelan.
You do see that there are guards moving about the streets occasionally. They are dressed in the green and gold that are the colors of the Pharrellin Empire.
Yes.
Wait, what if this is like a shady location? Do we know if this is like a respected establishment? I mean, the fairy boy said it was cool, but I think he would have said anything for a little bit of like extra tip.
Perhaps we should go into another inn and ask if anyone has heard of this place.
Wait. Hold on. I got this. I look around real quick. I'm going to roll a perception check. I'm going to look for a bookstore or a library. Because I think that would make more sense.
Sure.
What I say, a perception check or an investigation?
Perception.
Perception. It's the same for me. That's a 15.
Okay, so you're looking around like for what you can see for some kind of bookstore?
Yeah, anything like scrolls, books, like even like a paper stationery, you know what I mean?
Sure. So, you're looking around, and you hear a voice coming from the furthest end of the corner. Get your papers here, papers, 2 cents a piece, papers, hear the word, all the good stuff, none of the bad.
I'm going to buy a paper from the little newsie.
Yeah, so there's a little tiefling girl who's just standing on the corner there, dressed in what kind of looks like denim, and she's just waving a paper high, and she's got a big satchel of them with her.
I'm gonna take all. Cause this is like most likely like a street urchin kid, you know, like Ernest, whatever, something Ernest. So I'm gonna pull out a full gold piece, and I'm gonna kind of like casually walk up, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I'll buy one." And you know, when she starts to hand it to me, I'm gonna take the paper and hand a gold piece, and be like, "Hey, do you know where Thousand Nights Inn is?"
Miss, I'm sorry. Are you paying me a gold piece for this paper?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't you want a tip? You're hustling, man. Like, you're doing a great job.
I believe she is trying to get some more information that if you could be so helpful as to give us.
Well, sure thing, Mum. Yeah, the 1001 Nights Inn. I think if you just go... Oh, let's see. Oh, I seem to be having some trouble remembering.
All right, here's the thing. I'll give you another gold piece if you take us directly there. But before you go, what can you tell me about this place? Because I know you know.
Oh, miss, I have me job and I have to stand here on the corner. But if somebody were to maybe buy all my papers, then I could...
You could keep giving your money to this kid. I don't know. Is there another inn nearby from where we are?
Is there another, I'm sorry, what?
Another inn.
Damn, that girl is like
nearby.
Yeah, so there's tons of inns.
I want to go into the nearest one and
She's like, wait, no, I'll tell you. But I'm having so much trouble remembering.
Girl, we're walking away. You got a full gold piece for a paper. I'm offering you two to take. No, I was going to give her a second if she took us there, but she's given us the runaround, so.
No. I'm sorry. Think of my family.
Girl, I'm not thinking about your family. Whatever.
It's up to you. She's like, I'll take you there.
All right.
Gold piece first.
No, I'm giving you the gold piece when you deliver us to where we need to go.
Still don't trust.
I'm giving her I want to use intimidation.
Okay. I would like to assist with that by standing menacingly over the small child.
Okay.
You don't
with my
25. Or if actually let's boost that. Let's make it at fucking 48 with your stats.
Well, she has, plus 10 street smarts to avoid being afeared. But she's like, all right, you don't have to get testy. And she clutches her papers up on her back and begins to kind of skip through the streets, waiting for you to follow her.
All right, let's follow her, being sure to keep my hand on my sword in case she takes us down a dark alley where we get mugged.
So luckily, she doesn't do that. She takes you literally one block over, and you see it just on the other side of the street there. And she points at it, and there's a large...
As soon as we get there...
Oh, no, we lost you.
As soon as we get there, so it's like... Yeah, why the hell did we follow this kid?
You definitely couldn't see it from the street you were on. So she had to, go left and then turn down the next street.
I am also paying her for a Yelp review of this establishment.
Sure. And she points her finger up at this inn, and you see that there's this very caricatured sign of, a genie coming out of a smoke bottle up above this inn. And there's clearly, an Arabian Nights theme going on to this bar, as she points at it, and she's like, the man there who works is very mean, and I'm not allowed to go in there, and it smells like smoke all the time.
Why is he mean? Because he didn't give you what you want, or?
Well, he won't let me inside, and then he won't let me go through his trash.
Is he human?
I don't think so. Nobody else thinks so either.
Huh.
Does he look human?
Well, technically.
Girl, you guys, listen. You're being very... Well, I guess we'll figure it out. We're here. Thank you for your services. You guys have any other questions?
She sticks out her hand for the gold piece expectantly.
And I'm holding it like really high up, and I look over at like Carl and Saya, and I'm like,
Saya's like, this was a waste of time and money. I went to any of the closest inns and asked where this place was. Just give them the gold box and in.
all right. I give it to her, but like I hold on to it a little tight as she grabs it.
Thanks, miss! And she just runs away before you can change your mind.
All right, Saya, we'll do it your way next time. I'm sorry. God. Thought I was being clever. I don't have street smarts, okay?
You helped an urchin child. You're a hero.
No way, that kid tried to play me like a fiddle.
It was working. You can't blame it. You're in the city now.
Yeah.
Here you are. Yep, so the 1001 Nights Inn is there in front of you. You can tell the door frame itself is painted with this bright scarlet paint. And again, this sign hangs from above. There is a window, but you can't see inside because it's obscured by hanging fabric from the inside. It looks like scarves or silks are hanging over the window.
Try to enter.
Yep. And as you go inside, you have to push the curtains. But immediately, the smell of sweet tobacco comes to your nose. And there is a haze that kind of covers the top of this place. You can't see the ceilings because they are all draped, again, in these fabric, and your feet step onto these plush rugs that are laid out around you. Yeah, essentially.
Ooh. And hookah.
You can tell, it's hookah smoke around you. You see that there are people, it's very dim in here. There are the glow of lanterns that have been set around the room with that red filtering. And there are people smoking, sharing hookahs, sitting in circles towards the front in distinct lounge areas. You see that there's a long, well-kept bar across one side of the room. There appears to be a door that at the very back that leads maybe to kitchen staff area. And there is a very, very large man behind the bar. As you look at him, the way he described him is about right. He's probably 6'11", maybe 7 feet.
Wow.
So he seems to be like stooping a little bit, even to fit in here, and his shoulders are massive. He is probably the most muscled human you've ever seen, and his skin is almost black. That's how dark it is. And you see he's wearing scarlet, again, silk, like robes that just look very nice, very put together. And he's got lots of brass jewelry adorning himself. So he's got necklaces, and you see rings. And he is behind the bar just putting things away meticulously. Every once in a while, a customer will come back up and he'll help them with coals or whatever they need. And you also see that there is a young woman who's flitting around the bar helping folks. And her skin is bright red, and her hair seems to glow with this orange light, like dying embers. Ooh. She is a fire genasi. Just pretty.
Is he like what are they called? This escapes me, I'm sorry. Goliath.
Nope. He looks human, human skin.
All right. I would like to stride up to the bar. Hello. My name is Carl. She's like struggling to say that. We were told that recently there was a book club meeting here, and
as you say that, the big man just puts his hand down firmly on the table and gives you a look. And as he looks at you, you feel heat suddenly radiate off of him. It's just like a space heater got blasted suddenly right behind you. There's no visual effect as this happens.
Could I make an insight check?
Sure.
Hopefully not.
We're not standing next to you, are we?
No, I think you're probably both by you know, kind of looking around.
I'm waiting
Carl,
for the host to like seat us at a cushion.
Ooh, all right, so 21.
He was totally amiable, just listening to you patiently, waiting to ask you what you were looking for, and then you said that, and he got very. He looks alarmed that you said that out loud, and he's trying to tell you to, like, be cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, Cara, picking up on this, she's like, she said, I do apologize, and she lowers her voice. You see...
He cuts you off and says, welcome to my establishment. Perhaps I can set you up with a drink or a place to sit, and we may talk.
Yes, that would be quite wonderful. A nice scotch will do. Ladies, would you like anything? As I turn back to, and motion at Saya and Ardell.
I approach, look over at Saya. Nazim's frozen. We approach, and we're
and as you do,
she'll have a hot tea and lemon, and I'll take a scotch too.
Mm-hmm. And he nods and he says, Sadia, and the woman floating around the fire, Genasi, kind of looks over and bounces to your table. What's important to understand about this man, he never raises his voice, but he has such a low timbre and commanding quality to it that you're certain anybody he wanted could hear him, and he would never have to change the volume.
James Erzo.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's just something really commanding about this person. And so Sadia, you assume her name is, bounces over. Yes, of course, this way. We'll seat you towards the back, maybe a private area. And she nods, and the big man nods as well.
Sounds wonderful.
Just follow me. And she leads you back towards an area where there's a curtain. She brushes it open, and there's a private area back here. There's nobody currently in there, but there are lots of like low couches in this area, own private like lower hookah tables. So maybe this is somewhere like important clients would come or meet. And she, I'll be right back with your drinks. Please make yourselves comfortable.
I immediately flop down to the couch.
It is so comfy.
Oh, so comfy. I man spread all over this.
Now you can. Now you
I can.
What is it like?
I awkwardly adjust my underwear.
Is it awkward? I think most men don't think it's awkward. I think they think it's invisible. But they
well,
do it anyway.
exactly. Well, you know, Kara's never had to do it before, so she's like, her inner monologue is, oh, dear God.
Arnadel, wait, this dude's sitting with us, right?
Not yet.
Okay, Arnadel's going to take this opportunity to be like, Kara, what's it like to have balls?
I say as this is a very humid environment, they are sticking to my leg.
Oh, God, I can't.
That
sounds horrible. Is it horrible?
Oh, like, have you ever adjusted your underwear and had your lips stick to you? It is like that, but all the worse.
I can't say that I have, but I can imagine. I have had my thong get rolled up in the wrong way, and that's not pleasant.
Yes, a very similar sensation.
God, hey, I got here. I have some powder in my component pouch if you need it.
Oh, that might be a necessity. I do say I cannot wait to take a pee standing up, though. I'm very excited.
That is a trump card for sure. Remember when we were stranded on that island? Got some that powder. Yeah, need that powder to stay fresh. And I hand like a little like vial of it. And like
little compact.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this right off. And the man who was tending bar comes into the room now, And just by his presence in there, the room seems full. Like, he just takes up so much space. And it's also just psychic space that he takes up, too. You know how people just...
Yeah.
Ugh. So as he steps into the room and he's bearing a tray with Saye's tea and your 2 scotches, he sets it down on the center of the table. And he sits on one of the low chairs. My name is Rashad. I own this place and treasure it, and I would value that you adhere to the rules while you are here.
If you would be so kind as to lay out those rules for us so as that we do not transgress them.
If you are looking for the collector, it's the standard fee.
Forgive me, but you see, we have been given this tip and we know nothing of this collector, so if you could be so kind as to divulge a little more information.
What's the fee?
Yeah, what is the fee? Who is this collector? We have found ourselves mixed up in a situation.
Perhaps we are not discussing the same thing. You are after the proprietor of the book club, are you not?
Yes, but we did not know if it would be an actual book club or something more unseemly.
Then I would recommend, if you do not know what this is, that you get out now, before things get worse.
What's the fee?
2,000 gold pieces.
I dare say that is quite a lot.
That is the standard buy-in. I don't make the rules.
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Can this man tell us, excuse me, at least we know that it tends to travel from inn to inn. Do you know the location of the next meeting?
I do not know. The collector would.
And
you may speak to him if you pay the standard buy-in.
What's your price?
My price.
Yeah.
I have given far, far too much to this.
You do know that our business with the collector is to prevent him from collecting. So maybe we can come to an agreement.
I'm listening.
Well, and I look over at Carl and Saya, looking for you to give me some eye contact of whether or not I should spill the beans or not.
Carl nods at you in agreement.
Like a slow stream of knowledge, yes.
Okay.
We don't have to give it all up.
Right. I'll give just enough to explain that we're here to take care of this collector because our client is also indebted and wants out.
So I will remind you, the collector is not the demon that Rowan is indebted to. The collector runs the book club and seems to know where all of its members live. The demon, after Rowan, goes to the book club. So presumably, if you talk to the collector can tell you where to find the demon.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes.
Because the collector did kind of sound like a really bitchin' name for the demon.
Definitely. And the demon was looking to collect on things, so it seemed appropriate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's pretend that we all understood this. And I would also like to continue to give just the right amount of knowledge, but also in that gaze for confirmation to Saya and Kara that also wrapped up with like, are we going to help him?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our...
What is it that What does he need from us in order to...
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you say that, he just nods his head sadly. There is nothing that can be done for me. But I hope that you will maintain the secrecy of this place. I am indebted to the collector, and if something were to happen to bring him harm in any way, my daughter and I would suffer greatly.
Okay.
All
right.
I see.
Well, we don't want that to happen. Most definitely.
And it's at
We're
this
here.
point you hear a knocking sound from the outside curtain, and you see Sadia comes back, and she is holding a large bag, and she goes and she like whispers something down to Rashid, who you presumably father-daughter, and he nods and looks at all of you.
An ember.
A what?
Is he an ember?
What is that?
Like like a coal?
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Never mind.
He's not a human form ember. Well, sort of, I guess. He again, so the room gets really hot again. This heat begins to radiate off of him as he takes the bag and looks at all of you. Your way has been paid.
From who?
Well, we'll hold up our end of the bargain come hell or high water.
Yeah, and Sadia says, a woman walked in and said this was for the people in the back room. I'm not sure how she knew. And
what did this woman look like?
I immediately think I know who it is. Yeah,
I think I do too.
Pale elven.
Yeah, sounds like Rem.
Yeah, short black hair.
Yes.
What else?
Yes, I think so.
Could you possibly send her up? She is indeed with us. We do know her.
She just left. She walked in a hurry and left this and was gone.
Is there a window in the room?
No.
Most peculiar.
Yeah, that it checks out to me. Not surprised.
And Rashad just nods his head. Too much strangeness has already happened. Are you ready to move along and meet him?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Come with me.
And
he said,
Throw back the rest of that whiskey.
Before we go, I'm going to take a very quick and secretive glance at the other patrons in this establishment.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a perception.
That's a 14.
Okay. There's a mix of different folks in here. It looks like, I mean, nothing that draws any alarm. It just looks like groups of friends or people maybe having business meetings, just enjoying usually some tea and smoking some hookah.
Okay. Nothing stands out. It's like, all right. I'm mostly just making sure that our tracks are covered. Nobody's like watching us or.
Good call.
Like Aragorn and the prancing pony.
There's nobody in the corner with a dark hood, like.
I think somebody was like, that fella's been staring at us all night. I'm like, oh, if only.
Yep. And so as he walks out, again, he's like, Sadia, we're going to go to the back room. She goes, how long will you be gone this time? I don't know.
What the hell's going on?
Okay, red flag.
And he ushers you all back towards that back door that you saw initially, and opens it for you to step inside.
All right.
Yeah. And as you step in, this seems to be like a storage room of some kind. You see that there are actually a set of wooden steps that lead down further. And as you get on this side of the door, he closes it. You see, and there's a series of locks that he does. so locking you in this room. And he begins to lead down the stairs to a basement level. You see that there are a bunch of kegs and other supplies that are kept down here, but he continues moving on. You see now also that he glows with a faint red light.
Huh.
You didn't see it in the daylight filtered space above, but now you can see it that it's pitch black except for him. And he pushes aside a curtain, and there's another small room there, and there is a pedestal in the middle of this room, and sitting on top of it is a lamp. A gold lamp.
Oh my god, are we about to talk to a real fucking genie? What if it's Bartleby? Oh my god.
He was a demon. Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
And he says, if you touch the lamp, you can go see the collector.
I don't like this. I don't want to touch the fucking lamp. That sounds like getting chained to it.
Insight check.
I want to do an Arcana check with this situation.
Okay.
Oh, that's a natural 20. Oh,
Okay.
I only got a 12 for insight.
Well, your 12 insight, I mean, he seems solid. He seemed wary of this whole situation. Like, he doesn't want to be a part of it. He's only here because he has to. He doesn't seem like somebody who would openly deceive you. But that's just your general impression you get of him.
Wait, this is one of those Pink Floyd references, isn't it?
What?
What?
Collector in a genie bottle?
No, I don't think so.
I'm bored.
Oh, the fishbowl? What?
No,
Just two last balls in a fishbowl? I don't know.
No, something else.
Year after
okay,
year.
Okay, and Arnadel, with your Arcana check, you're like, I don't know of any way that just touching a lamp could make you bound to it. Like, that doesn't seem... There'd be a lot more magic involved, or needing to be bound, or like a wizard or something. You don't think so?
Thinking along the lines of curses.
Nothing really comes to mind. You know that there can be like extra dimensional spaces that are put inside of things. Lamp has always been a candidate. You've heard about that in like children's stories, but now it's like here happening in front of you, and you're like, are you serious?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've definitely had our fair share of extra dimensional pockets for sure. So I like get the quick like data scan, and I'm like, all right, I can't think of anything, guys.
So are we touching this or not?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone will be a guinea pig, I'll do it.
The last time Kara touched something, she turned into a bird. Or almost did.
That's true. The last time your
story.
NPC or your other PC touched something, she died.
Instantly, yeah. Bellica. All right, yeah.
You both have people you love. I'm going to touch it.
All right.
Touches the lamp.
Saya, we love you. All right.
And disappears in a cloud of mist.
I look at Carl.
I dare say I'll go next, and I touch it.
All right.
And you disappear. Boom. Pew. You also phase out of this place and arrive somewhere else. All of you are standing in this open, empty, white space. There's no definition around you, no walls or ceilings or anything. There just seems to be this flat plane of white that you're standing on. And then you feel a heat suddenly come from behind you as Rashad also joins you on this place. And just this blankness is interrupted by only one thing. There's a large iron door that stands probably about 8 feet tall or so, just there in the middle of this white space. You can't see anything behind it or around it in any way. There's just this iron door.
I presume that we must go through that door. I say to Rashad.
the collector wants to speak to you, he will let you in.
He better for 2,000 gold pieces. I mean, right?
I quite agree.
And as you sort of approach the door, you see that the iron begins to twist and shape, and a mouth appears on the door. Like, you can see, just made of the iron, the outlines of teeth and this black space as this animated mouth just appears, and you hear a voice, "Well, this is certainly a surprise." And it's a voice you recognize.
Who is it?
You can't quite place it coming through an iron door.
Hello there. My name is...
Welcome to my abode. What brings you here?
Oh my god. Who is this?
I think it's got to be some kind of weird deity. Who have we interacted with?
So I'm going to keep talking. I'm here to see the collector with my friends.
Well, you're in the right place. I hope you aren't intent on killing me again. That didn't go so well for you last time. It's Bartleby's voice coming from
I fucking told you! I fucking told you!
I know, I hate when you say it and it's right. And I was like,
yeah. Oh. Fuck. Arnadil just starts to boil.
I knew it! Book club, knowledge demon, I fucking knew it. Oh.
Arnadil's just fucking pissed.
It's good to see you as well, Arnadil. And the voice, the mouth is like opening in the shit-eating smile.
Oh, I see you have procured yourself a much larger abode than the inside of a glass vial. Tell me, did you ever take care of that Montgomery fellow?
Well, you know, last time we encountered each other, I'll admit, I was very angry. I had been trapped in a bottle for hundreds of years. I mean, anybody would have had a bad day.
That does sound uncomfortable.
But, as you can see, that death really sorted things out for me. I returned home, learned a little bit about myself, did some introspection, and now I'm back. And, back in business, and it feels just so good. So.
Yeah, you're welcome for opening that fucking bottle.
Thank you. No, I absolutely do appreciate it. The stomping and repping of my corpse, maybe could have done without that. But as you can see, I cannot be killed by you puny mortals. So I am back in business, and and now you're here, all of you, and you need something from me.
Oh, How
interesting.
Well, we never did get our boon from you from releasing you.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to remind you, your boon was that you wouldn't kill us, and then you tried to kill us. So, sounds like you're still indebted.
My boon was that I let you go, and I did. It's not my fault you came back and picked a fight. I violated no part of my agreement. I take my agreements very seriously, and I followed it to the letter. But it's useless of you to argue, because if I don't let you out here, you're just going to die in the vacuum. So what can I do for you?
We are not here to repeat the past. We've paid the price that you asked for, and we just need to learn a little information about one of your book club members.
Saya. He's not going to give that to us. We're going to trade something very valuable.
Well, we need to start a conversation at some point.
Well, I'm listening.
Well, as you may or may not be aware, but I'm sure you are, we are looking for a demon who has a Duke Rowan beholden to him.
It's not a demon you're looking for. It's a Yugoloth. That one's for free.
Thank you. You are ever so kind.
A knowledge religion on a Yugoloth?
Or go ahead and nature or Kana or I guess religion, maybe. Whatever you want to give me. Whatever sounds good.
Well, do it what you want. 21? Am I adding them?
Wow, okay. So sure, you know what a Yugoloth is. So Yugoloths inhabit this very interesting space between devils and demons. They're not quite either. Originally, it was said that they were created by devils as a way of gaining an army that didn't have to abide by the normal rules that devils have to. But something went wrong, and they ended up being able to gain their own freedom. So now, essentially, they work as free agents now completely, not aligned with either devils or demons. They're always working for the highest bidder. There's many, many different types of Yugoloths. I think in published D&D books, there's like 15 or so now that are all highly specialized to do certain things, whether it's magic or information collecting or fighting.
So they're just foot soldiers for someone
But they're
else.
not. But now they're highly trained and dangerous mercenaries, essentially. And they are extremely volatile, very prone to go back on their word or to go to follow very specific letters of the contracts they create with either mortals or devils or demons.
So they're Boba Fett.
Yeah, they're very loose cannon mercenaries.
Okay.
Huh.
Well
And
then.
so you are seeking this specific individual. May I ask for what purpose?
I want to know if this Yugoloth is a mercenary, who the fuck are they working for?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that the question you want me to answer?
No, that's not the question. I turned to Saya and Carl. Catch my drift?
Yeah.
If this Yugoloth is just collecting from Rowan, then if it's just a mercenary, it's not doing this on its own accord. It's working for somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Well, our purposes with this thing is a greater purpose, but we've been tasked in order to accomplish our own goals to help someone else who's being plagued by this thing. So we have to hunt him down.
So helping Rowan's going to give us this vote, right?
Yes.
Arnadel turns to Sai, is still looking, ignoring Bartleby, and is like, honestly, I'm playing as Arnadel, not Brady. This laundry list is getting real fucking long, and I'm already peeved that we have to interact with this jackass. I say we ditch this shit and try to find another vote. Rowan's in way over his fucking head.
Oh, that is a valid point.
Come on, each step of the way, it's gotten 10 steps longer.
I don't think we're going to find anything easier with any of the other votes. I feel like they're all giving us their shit list. So either way, it's going to be fucking miserable, and we're already here.
Bartleby.
And Rowan's children don't deserve to suffer for his idiocy.
I mean, they live in the lap of luxury, and they have a racist mother. How do you think they're going to turn out?
Let's kill their children.
No, I'm saying that we could just walk the other way, and their fate is just as set as their privilege.
And the door speaks to you. I would like to remind you that you have no other way to walk. So I'm either getting something out of this, or you're going to die here. Welcome to my kingdom. Oh, this is so much fun.
Also, Arnadel just got super neutral.
So, here we go. What I'm hearing, you want me to give you the location of this Yugoloth so you can take care of it, presumably. Though another free piece of advice. This thing also won't die, so killing it won't do anything. You'll have to get its true name.
Duh, we already knew that.
Would you care to tell us what it is?
I do not have it. Yugoloths are unique in the fact that, well, most of them are able to be free because they keep their names.
All right, so we still have a question that we have to ask you, right?
Yes.
All right. Again, I bitchily turn my back to. I look at Saya and I look at Carl, and I'm like, all right, we got to place this question carefully. You can't obviously tell us the name because you don't know everything.
Arnadel, I feel like we could be great friends if you just gave up your petty hostilities.
That actually touches her a little bit. She's like, probably.
I am very curious to know what you learned in the Raven Queen's domain.
Whoa!
Oh, shit. That's actually, okay, don't even get me on a tangent. I turn around, I'm like, not right now. I'll humor you later, because I'm kind of, my interest is piqued, okay? So, like, are we frenemies now?
I think so.
I think we just became frenemies. All right, so.
Best frenemies.
Looking at Kara and Saya, I'm like, all right, this is a big deal. This is like a wish spell, guys. Like, we have to pose this question just right, because I know this fucker is gonna only give us specifics. You know what I mean?
Well, I got no impression that he was going to give us a wish.
Well, not a wish, but you know what I mean? Like, we have to word it just right, because there's, like, ways that it'll backfire, or, like, very important information that'll get left out, is what I'm suspecting here. So we need to find out the name of this Yugoloth, and we need to talk to it.
Yeah, but beyond knowing its name, after that, how do we have to seal it somehow? Like in a bottle?
Well, if we know the name, that'll take care of it.
We need to know where to find it, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And we also need to know its name.
Right. Or how to obtain it. Because it's not going to tell us, and this Bartleby doesn't know. So I guess we need to, the most logical step next is, first we need to know how to find it, and then maybe we can use our wits to figure out how to get its name.
Oh, I was going to say the opposite.
You know that Bartleby doesn't know its name.
No, I know.
But
I know
Bartleby
that, but
might know
how do we get its name?
Got it.
Right. Bartleby might know how we can get its name. Which
What's
is
the vote?
More pressing. Like, finding it is, I mean, it just hinges on Bartleby letting us through the fucking door. I think its name is the weapon.
Yes, agreed.
So we can find it. We can go on a quest to find it, but we got to have a weapon to.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're all in agreement.
All right.
So ask how to find its name.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is the best way to find out its name?
He's going to give some
the question.
No, hold on. Just ask its name. Can you feel me on this? I'm being very serious about this.
You hear laughing from behind the door. As you're like, all right, let me see here. I feel like we're all good friends here. Some people might have killed some people. I don't know. I'm willing to let bygones be bygones. I'm certainly enjoying being back on your small and inferior plane. It's really quite cute. So I'm going to open this door and let you all in, and we'll talk face to face. But I will remind you that if any harm befalls me, not only will you be trapped here and unable to leave, that genie behind you, his life will be ruined, and his dog. I will make sure.
I turn in shock.
Horrible things happen to them.
I turn in shock to look at Rashad. You're a genie?
And he is just like deadpan, staring at this door with utter hatred, and his skin flares bright red.
He is enslaved by Bartleby.
Okay.
Those have been some bitchin' wishes.
So just reminding you, before you consider doing any harm to me, not only will that accomplish nothing, but it will also ruin 2 people's lives. I feel like that might appeal to you more.
Don't worry, Bartleby. I've let go of my desire to kill you. I don't think, whatever. Yeah, we won't hurt you.
Wonderful. Well then, come in, and the door, it unhinges, and the mouth goes away. And as this opens up, you see this room open up in front of you. It's this large circular room. It's like one of those libraries that has the ladder that you can climb up and then swirl around up the top, and everything is just filled with books. Ancient looking books in different languages you don't even recognize. There are cases of these books everywhere, just stacked with scrolls and maps and books, and it's incredible.
You're giving me a Beauty and the Beast moment here with Bartleby.
Yes. he's
contract all this time.
And you see a familiar figure. In the center of the room, there's this round desk, and a familiar grayish blue figure is just tapping his claws upon the edge of this desk here. You see behind him, there's this large, metal apparatus, and there seems to be a window of some kind up at the top. So he has, you've never seen one, but this is a large telescope.
Oh, cool.
Intriguing.
No, maybe
Flagstaff Tower?
Maybe at on a new student tour, you were allowed to go to the observatory, but you weren't allowed to touch it, and you were only in there for 30 seconds, and you had to be hustled out of the room.
It was a distant memory.
Yeah, and so he is sitting there, and again, so he's completely hairless with these long kind of pointed ears, and just sitting hunched in this chair, and he indicates for all of you to have a seat.
I do hope you have more scotch.
I could probably find something around here. And he snaps a finger, and a glass of scotch appears in your hand.
Make that too.
Fabulous. Now we can begin our discussions.
Welcome. This is true hospitality. Much better than living on the inside of a glass jar, don't you think?
We're so proud for you. Slayer tries to give out a compliment, and it sounds very contrived.
Yeah.
I see him pretend he's making us feel like we're in the glass jar this time, because if we don't follow his rules, we're trapped in a glass jar. Arnold
have to. We're at his mercy. We have to be his little pets.
Let's get to the cut of this. I heard you all squabbling outside. I do understand it is hard to make decisions when your brains are just so inferior. It's not your fault. And I want to help you. This Yugoloth you're chasing has a book that I very much desire. I will tell you where its lair is if you bring me this book.
Is that why this is called the book club?
I am a procurer and dealer of rare tomes that may not be explicitly legal by your material standards. That is what the book club is. I am a collector, a dealer of sorts.
What is this book? What would we be looking for?
It is a book of contracts. Presumably, if you get this Yugoloth's name, he'll be out of the game, and just so many contracts floating around waiting, needing somebody to abdicate them. I volunteer myself as tribute.
Of course.
So we're still trying to figure out who this Yugoloth is working for.
Tell me, how would one go about trying to suss out the true name of an individual such as this Yugoloth?
When the Yugoloths were created, all of their names were written in a book held by their master, their creator. These books were lost when the Yugoloths rebelled. And so now most Yugoloths, or the ones still operating, have their own page with their own name. I would assume that this Yugoloth keeps their own name very close at hand. If you confront it in its lair, I suspect you might be able to find the name there.
I see. Yes, Arnadel.
Probably, and I'm being facetious, probably a dumb question. Do they write their name down? Is this are we looking for like a scroll in a bottle? Is it
and he pinches his nose
wrapped
together
under his desk? Is it stitched into his robes? Like,
your thinking is so two-dimensional, my dear. This book was created by a devil lord. This book is a treasured artifact. This page will radiate with power and knowledge, and you're calling it just a and he just leans back in his chair and taps his fingers. Do we have a deal or not? That's the best offer I'm going to give.
Hold on. If we get you this book with contracts or anyone that we are working for, in fact, to be taken off of that list, and we will get you his book.
Anyone you're working for? Who do you mean specifically? Rowan? Sure. His contract's gone.
I want to add to this contract that we're writing up here. Our homies that let us in, that own this inn.
They shall be released from your... Oh, God, we should write this down.
Yep, they're getting released from servitude. You find somebody else. Maybe a more seedy individual.
And he taps his quill on his leg and thinks about it. That will be the only other thing you get from me. I will let this Afriti and his daughter go from my contract. And I will let you have your Rowan out of that book of contracts. Nothing else in that book is negotiable.
I kind of want to look at the book.
You have to make this deal here and now.
What?
Yeah.
Anything else isn't part of our problem.
All right, yeah. All right, stay the course. All right, if Freedy and his daughter get released, we get information on our fucking dipwad so we can carry on with our contract and we'll shake hands.
Yes, Rashad and his daughter Sadia are to be released from your servitude with no harm to come upon them, and Duke Rowan's debt shall be forgotten, and Carl holds out his hand.
No ill effects, no tricks, Bartleby.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a man of my word.
7 years of bad luck in their business, you know.
As I have
all right.
said.
And you personally, and as you hold out your hand, you personally shall be held responsible for this. You will give me the book of contracts as soon as it is in your possession. And you will put it in this bag. And he goes and he pushes it over. It just looks like a small burlap sack. It looks like a bag of holding of some kind. You'll put it in this bag immediately upon receiving it. And once the book is inside the bag, your conditions will be fulfilled.
Very good. This is not the first magical bag I have ever carried on my person. It shall be done.
And Bartleby reaches out with his hand. It's very weird to shake because he's only got the 3 fingers. He's got like the 2 long fingers and a thumb. And so he shakes hands with you and you feel this spark as this deal is struck. And you know that some kind of magic has been cast on you. You are under the effects of a Gaius spell. You must complete this contract with him. Then, our business here is concluded. Here is where you will find your prey. And as he snaps, you all have this knowledge suddenly of this warehouse and the dock district that you need to go to and how to enter the lair of this creature. You all just know it. And as this comes to your mind, this mist rolls in, and Bartleby is just waving his hand at all of you, and you find yourself standing back in the cellar room. And that's where we're going to end for today, since we've already got a little bit late, but the deal has been struck with an friend. I was so bummed you called that, Sage, right in the middle. I was like, this is going to be so crazy.
That's it. Bartleby was a demon, and then sure as shit, Bartleby shows up. Like, fuck.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of the Venture Maidens. I have been your Dungeon Master, Celeste Konowich.
I've been your miffed. I lost my train of thought. I've been your chat.
That's how miffed I am.
I'm so miffed right now. Moon Elf Warlock, Arnadell Zell, played by Brittany Quintero.
And I was your extremely anxious between these two, like, ticking time bombs. Human monk, Sayonara.
Yes, well, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. What?
Sage,
You told a story.
Why do I always do that?
Oh, and I have been your transformed barbarian, Carl. Played by Sage.
So much. Dude, the voice is so much.
It's so good.
Okay, for real, everybody said bye. So thank you for tuning into this episode, and we'll until next time, everybody.
Venture away!
Venture away.
That was pretty good.
Venture away, everybody.